Welcome to Subramani. If you are an investor, you really can't avoid the noise, and noise comes from the sanest of people trying to guess which sector will do well now. Is it a time to be buying? Is it a time to be selling? And newsletters. Last time I saw that the newsletter business is upwards of 5 billion US dollars. Now, if you are really an investor, you should be making money investing, not by managing other people's money. And if you see, the biggest fortunes have been made by managing other people's money, even in India and even abroad. Ken Fisher has made more money managing money than his own money growing, right? So, largely, it is the investment management teams which make money and make tremendous amount of money. They are in the Forbes list, which gets people to write books like Where Are the Customers' Yachts? Now, not getting into that, but I'm saying so much of your mental energy spent on looking at tops and bottoms is a complete waste. So, forgetting the survivor bias, just go and pick up any of the good companies which are there today, which were there 30 years ago, and see what would have happened if you had bought 1 share, 2 shares, 5 shares as per your capacity on a monthly basis. Of course, it would have worked. However, this is a problem of survivorship bias, because you would have also put money in shares like Bombay Dyeing, you would have put money in Century, you would have put money in Pill, Mafatlal Industries, right? Many of those companies, of course, Nirlon, which has currently got a lot of land, but maybe there are companies which are forgotten, companies like Orkay which have fallen by the wayside. Yes, you would have lost some money there. So where would this have worked? This would have worked in an index. But then talking about the index makes no sense, because in 1979 there was no index, right? So instead of wasting so much time on and energy on seeing the tops and bottoms and what will work. For example, I recently bought 2 shares at an absolute bottom. I paid 110 rupees for EID Parry and I paid 318 rupees for Sun Pharma. Absolute bottom. It couldn't have got better than that. However, when I bought EID Parry at 110, I was very clear that at about 170, 180, I'll get rid of it, because I have enough of it originally in my investment. This was a trading call, and I knew I would not get the top here because I did not want to hold on till the top. Now, having said that, sometimes it happens that you sell a share and then it falls and it never reaches that price again. It has happened to me in the past, but in the same share to get the bottom and the top always doesn't happen. So in a year, if you end up doing maybe 50, 60 transactions, 1 or 2 transactions or maybe 5 transactions, you would have got some share at the bottom and you would have sold halfway through the journey. Some shares you would have sold at the top and then you would have seen it completely fall. Right? Both these you will see, but don't even worry about that. Just put an X amount on a company which you are confident. For example, if you are confident of, say, HDFC Limited or Wipro or Infosys or what have you, and you start putting an X amount every month. Say 100 rupees a month doesn't work in these kind of things, so maybe 10,000 rupees a month into that script, and keep reinvesting the dividend and see over 30 years, 40 years what happens, right? Of course, you're alive, you're active, you're watching, so suddenly you feel there is some controversy in that company, the promoters are fighting or things like that. Completely get out, because the cockroach never comes out alone. There will be a lot of other cockroaches waiting to come out. So in case you hear some traumatic, dramatic news like this, you get out. If you don't hear anything like this, but you hear that software is falling and things like that, then you be careful and pare down a little if you need to. Otherwise, there is no need to worry about all those things. You look at your goals, you look at your investment, keep investing regularly, maybe over a portfolio of 5, 10, 15 shares, and that's it. Your wealth is created. However, identifying those 10, 15 companies is not easy, especially if you're looking beyond the Sensex and maybe, but I don't think as a retail investor, if you're trying to pick stocks, looking beyond the top 200 makes no sense at all, unless you have some very specific advantage of knowing that company, knowing the analyst, and knowing that the analyst's first port of call will be you when he's putting out a sell report. Well, Indian analysts don't put out a sell report, but about that we will talk separately. First of all, realize that you need not pick up the top and the bottom as long as you put 10,000 rupees every month for the next, say, 5 years into one share, right? Or you create a portfolio of 5 shares and you say, I will put 10,000 each. So you're putting 50,000 every year, which is 6 lakhs into 5 years. So 30 lakhs is what you're investing in a group of 5-6 shares. Just keep doing it. Lage raho unless you have dramatically different information. So what you realize over a period of time that just leaving your money there with one company over 25, 30, 40 years creates a lot of wealth. And if these are dividend paying companies, they are rewarding you for all the sitting that you are doing. Make sure that you take the dividend and buy more of the same share. It is as simple as that. You will create a nice dividend oriented portfolio. And you will also realize that when people say time spent in the market is more important, it is true. You will obviously hear people saying, oh, once I thought time was important, timing is not important. But now I realize that timing is important. It just means you have a weak heart and you have no ability to understand what's happening in the market. Of course, timing is important for traders, provided they have learned trading under somebody or with books and with theory. And if you're just buying and selling because you think you're a trader, well, you are a loser. You're going to make money for your broker and not for yourself. So time, in the compounding formula also you see the value of time, and those who are always looking to sell at bottom and buy at bottom and sell at top are wasting a lot of their energy thinking that this can happen. Do an analysis, try finding out what would have happened if you had invested in HDFC every week since 1990 and you create 2 Excel tables, one of you buying at the top and one of you buying at the bottom, and in both the cases reinvesting the dividend. Honestly, honest to God, it wouldn't have made any difference whether you bought at top, whether you bought a bottom, or you just bought at random. If you bought every day or every month worth 10,000 rupees, obviously scale down the amount, make it 1,000 rupees if you're starting in 1980. Every month, if you have been putting that amount, just see what is the kind of return that you would have got. And it was not very difficult to pick up those shares. It was difficult to maybe sit tight doing nothing, because at every point you felt, oh, now it's over, now the growth is over and things like that. Right now I feel that the mortgage growth is over, but then there may be other assets which are making that share attractive. So that really doesn't matter. It is just an edge in investing. Another, believe it or not, a top fund manager is envious when he looks at me and says, you're lucky, you can sit tight on a portfolio. Honest to God, I'm not joking. And he's a top guy, I don't want to name him. Which is true, because it allows me to sit on shares like LMW right through the journey from maybe 200 rupees effectively to about 9,000 rupees, right? And maybe it's gone through one bonus, unlike MRF, it didn't go through a bonus or a split. So it allows you to sit over 30, 40 years. No fund manager can sit. He will have to justify regularly. His analyst will ask him, his investors will ask him, and then his investors will turn on him and say, just to hold on to this share, why should we pay you MC charges? So therefore you will need action. Fund managers need action, you don't. So you have that huge unfair advantage over the fund manager. So you have that edge, you use it, and if in case of rising dividends you are pouring more money back into it, you will sell only when you have a goal, right? So my father had a goal that he would remove money from selling some of his nice shares like Colgate at the time of my sister's wedding, but luckily some other cash was available and therefore we didn't need to sell the portfolio. So sometimes your goal comes and goal goes without you having to disturb the assets which you had created just for the particular event. It just happens that you had some other fixed deposits or some place of property or something which you sold and you did not sell equity, and so another 30 years of compounding was added to my dad's portfolio because he did not have to sell a share which he was holding on for maybe 12-13 years. So 13 plus 30, that those shares are now worth 40 years investing in my mother's portfolio, right? So these things happen, you have to hold on, you have to take the dividend, reinvest it, make sure that you have your goals met from removing some money from the corpus, but otherwise the corpus remains untouched over long periods of time. Right now, I think I have enough dividend income to live for the rest of my life, whatever, 30 years and or 25 years, and therefore my corpus should remain untouched except for some earth-shaking events or something goes wrong or things like that. So there could be reallocation in your portfolio, but there need not be any disturbance to the compounding process. So time spent in the market is important. You have to buy right and you have to monitor and sit tight over long periods of time. When I say monitor, make sure that you're not allowing the media to disturb you into saying, oh God, the world is coming to an end kind of situation, or saying, oh, it's so euphoric that I don't think prices can come down again. Right? Both these are extremes, both don't happen. You know, when the market goes up, one day it will come down. It does not mean that every time it goes up, it has to come down. Over long periods of time, if you've seen 1979 at 100 and today at close to 40,000, it means 400 times of compounding has happened, right? And if you add the dividend, then it becomes 600,000 or 60,000 of the Sensex. So which means your 100 has become 60,000, which means 600 times is what it has happened. So if that is what is happening with your portfolio for doing nothing, it can't be too bad, right? But make sure that if you are in ETFs, you will not get any dividend, but you have to keep on adding more money to it because you are capable of saving more and more per month. Thank you.